Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience her story unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come.
Welcome to another day of Her Story Unfolding. And this day is a very special day because today we're going to do a recap of the last 28 days of Her Story Unfolding. When we started on the 1st of March, we made a declaration that we're honoring women every day in the month of March, starting with March 1, and we're making a big highlight on the last 2 days of this month on the 30th and the 31st. But before we get to our highlight, I would love to ask Alicia, as I always do at the beginning of our broadcast, how excited are you for our recap today, Alicia?
Ava, I am so excited, and I love that question, and I love that we open every segment with how excited are we for today? As Ava mentioned, you are tuning into another episode of Her Story Unfolding, where we at the Los Angeles Tribune have made a commitment to honor, elevate, and celebrate women from all around the world. And we've been doing just that. Every single day in the month of March, we've been speaking to women from all around the world, hearing about their stories, hearing about their work. And Her Story Unfolding is so important to us and has been such a delight to host with all of our guest hosts and our guests throughout the segment, because it is one thing to talk about women and their work and what they see each other doing on the outside, their gifts to the world, but it's really a different kind of conversation when we really get to understand where their story started, how they felt and what their experiences were like when they were young, and how they have transformed throughout their lives, navigating challenges and setbacks, difficulties, but still keeping a commitment and a dedication to themselves and to the world. Over the last 28 days in the month of March, we've had the absolute honor to bring women from all walks of life to Her Story Unfolding and hear how her story has unfolded. And we haven't just been bringing guests on to Her Story Unfolding, we've been out there in the world interacting. We were at the NAACP Image Awards, hearing from singers, actors, entertainers, entrepreneurs, advocates about what their experiences have been like and how they've poured into their creations. We've gone to book signings, hearing from the authors of The Orchid, which is all about unlocking the goddess within, unlocking the secrets to the goddess within. We have gone to podcast conferences, hearing about women who have podcasts and why they launched their podcast. We've even gone to movie premieres, being at the premiere of A Fragile Flower that is actually out today in theaters across the US. Today, March 29th, you can find A Fragile Flower. If it's in a theater near you, we highly recommend that you go and watch the film. It has been such an honor to be out there celebrating women, experiencing all of their creative genius, the work that they've created, that they put out in the world. We were at the LA Fashion Closet show during LA Fashion Week. So it's really about women supporting, collaborating. We've seen reunions on the show with when we had Dr. Shelley Hipsky and Sally Power on, and their friend joined Donna from the UK, and we actually invited her on. And a special thank you to Dr. Emily Letran, who is a woman that truly does it all, a dentist, an empowerment coach, a co-executive producer for movies, co-executive producer for Her Story Unfolding. But it's all been about celebrating women giving them space to share who they are. We heard from the women at Cece's Closet. There's so much richness and goodness within us. And Her Story Unfolding is a reminder that we all have a story within. We're all making an impact in this world, whether it's in our daily lives with our friends, our family, our community, or we're working on global initiatives and endeavors. All of our stories matter, and we all have a voice. And throughout the month of March, we've been taking a look back to the women throughout history that have inspired us and left their mark, while we've been hearing from women that are creating the runway, creating the legacies for the future impact that they will have in this world. So we invite you to tune into this special segment where you're going to hear and see reflections from all of the women guests that we've had on the show. Share the segment, share the series, and remember that you have a story within you. We hope that in experiencing, in participating in with all of our guests from all over the world that have been tuning in and leaving comments and sharing the segment, that you have come to realize that you have a story within, that for your voice matters, that your voice is important. And today and each and every day we celebrate women, but we also celebrate those that feel unseen, unheard, and maybe unvalued, because you are all important. You are all special. If you get anything from Her Stories Unfolding segment, my wish to you all is that listening to any one of the episodes, listening to any one of the segments inspires you to look inward, inspires you to inquire about the things that make you happy, about the things that make you joy, about the people that you have around you, about how small thoughts can lead to big ideas and big ideas can lead to impact, whether in your day-to-day life or in the future. You just never know. We appreciate you for tuning in to Her Story Unfolding. It is a very, very, very special segment. And with that, I'll hand it back to Ava.
Thank you, Alicia. What a beautiful recap. Truly, we have been virtual, we have been physical, on book tours, on podcast conventions, on, movie premieres, fashion shows, and really honoring women in their craft, in their creativity. Thank you for the beautiful recap. And really, I love how you mentioned, Alicia, and how you highlighted that we would love people who feel unseen and undervalued, and maybe unable to use their voice, to know that they are valuable, that they are important, because really that is our mission. That's our mission in the Los Angeles Tribune: inspiring, uplifting, educating, empowering. And all of this inspiration is really, to uplift one another, to uplift. We all are needed all together in this planet, in this world. Our contributions are needed. We are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose. And I love that, that you mentioned that all of this is really so that we can uplift each other. And that's our inspiration. So as we go and do the recap, we're going to go back from day 1 to day 28. I will invite you to go on the memory lane with me. If it's your first time seeing this Her Story Unfolding, well, get ready to have a recap. And if you've been tuning in every day watching, you're going to have some of the memories as we bring in some of the thumbnails of who started from day 1 and what their awards were and what it's all about. So Alicia, I am so excited. I know that closing the Her Story Unfolding this month, we are having a big broadcast for 2 days, and at the same time being physically present in a book awards, the Impact Book Awards with Neem Stand who we also honored, in Her Story Unfolding. So how excited are you? Here's my question again for this weekend upcoming. And what are you looking forward to?
I'm delighted. As Ava mentioned, we're going to the International Impact Book Awards, which is truly a celebration of authors. Authors, they change lives through fictional books, non-fictional books, development books, educational books. Books keep us going. We read books in schools, but also in our personal life. And just commend Nim for thinking big, for creating a space to honor authors in the same way that singers are honored at the Grammys, actors and actresses are honored at the Oscars. She's really curated and created a space to recognize authors, to honor them with awards, and also to educate them with entrepreneurial skill sets through her entrepreneurship conference for how to position their books and how to get messages out in the world. In a world that is so digital, books that are still printed, they have a very special place in my heart. But books are amazing. They're a heirloom, but oftentimes people will remember that book that changed their lives. People will remember that story that shifted the way that they viewed things in their lives. So I'm so excited that we have an opportunity to participate at the International Impact Book Awards Conference. We'll be speaking on brand positioning and strategic media positioning for authors during the conference. And then, as Ava mentioned, we love to be out there in the world supporting. And so we will be supporting NIM and all of the participants that will be joining the International Impact Book Awards Gala. Mark Victor Hansen will be there. Sean Kanan from The Karate Kid will be there. And we're delighted. And in the spirit of support and collaboration, Mark Victor Hansen has been on our platforms before. We honored him with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Sean Kanan participated in Quantum Leap 2024, and it's amazing that they too will be at the International Impact Book Awards. It's communities coming together to uplift. So I'm so delighted that we get to participate in person, and it's truly been so much fun to connect with you all through Her Story Unfolding. We have literally had women across all industries, across all parts of the world, and we're not done. As Ava mentioned, we have a 2-day celebration of remembrance on March 30th and 31st, where you will be hearing from women all over the world, not just from all over the world, but actively and currently living on continents all across the world, joining us over the next 2 days to share their stories, their life stories, and how it has contributed to the work that they're doing now. So we just appreciate you all for being on this journey along with us for the last 29 days. If you hadn't had an opportunity to listen and tune into our segments, you'll hear more about them during the recap, and then we encourage you to go back and watch each segment that really resonates with you. But it's really about remembrance. It is a celebration. We always say when women come together, it is a party. And it's really about recognizing, celebrating, and actively listening to what people have to say. In a world where there's always information at us, it can be very easy to tune out. But Her Story Unfolding has been a really amazing experience of hearing what people have to say, about understanding their experiences and how their experiences have led us to where they are right now. And we get to co-experience that with them. So Ava, I'm excited for you to walk through and bring everyone through memory lane about what Her Story Unfolding has been all about. I'm excited for us to continue to highlight voices as we go throughout the close of the segment. And we know that Her Story Unfolding is not stopping here, because we are just on one page out of a book that is still being written. As you can see behind Ava, she has the Los Angeles Tribune Special Thought Leader edition that highlights the impact and history of women throughout time that have really shaped humanity and shaped the world. That is where Her Story Unfolded began, with that very special edition of the Special Thought Leader edition newspaper. If you haven't had an opportunity, we encourage you to read the Special Thought Leader edition newspaper. We'll have the URL available for you to visit so that you could read the history and share it with the world. And as we know, it's all about celebrating legacies, past, present, and future. We appreciate you, and we know that you are a part of shaping legacies in the future. So Ava, I'm gonna hand it back over to you to start us down memory lane so we can hear more about all of the extraordinary women we've had the pleasure of hosting throughout Her Story Unfolding.
Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience Her Story Unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering, growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come.
Welcome back, and we are walking together on memory lane. So, this is actually a conversation. This is an engagement between you and me, as Alicia has passed on the microphone and the stage to all of us. I would love to invite all of our viewers to tell us, where are you watching from? Would love to know what part of the world you're from. And one of the biggest things, as the editor in chief of the Los Angeles Tribune, that I always want to foster, we are the media that redefines what news is like. And one of the things that I foster is a conversation, inclusion, involvement, engagement, community. So I'd love to be able to take this time, day 29. This is not a monologue. And this is not us just on the screen. We've actually invited people, who are watching, who are commenting on the audios, to join us live on the show. So if you're up for that, I'm going to even throw it out there right now. Whether you're in your pajamas, I know it's like, this is like that late night party for women. Um, Message us if you want to come on, and I'll send you the link, and you'll be able to come on live with us. So that's how we do this party. But let us know where you're coming from. And Karen's already messaging hola. Catherine Rosas is hola. So thank you so much for joining us wherever you're from. It is not uncommon for us to have audiences coming from like Africa, from Europe, from Australia, from Asia, from Bangladesh, from different parts of the world, and of course, from different parts of Canada and America. But wherever you're tuning in, know that we hear you. This is live, and we see your comments, and we'd love for you to be part of the conversation. So we did say in the very beginning that we are going to go down memory lane. Here's the other thing that I'm going to give you a tip. For those of you who are live right now, it is very, very intentional that as a organization that's redefining media, we're a media that's not just for the people but by the people. We want you to be part of this curation, this co-creation, this conversation, and knowing that as you being a part of this, we always look at your comments, we look at your emails, we look at your messages, and we'd love to have you be a part of the conversation. And it is very intentional that we don't do things perfect, because one of the things that we want to let you know, as women especially, is that we do not have to be perfect to start. We don't have to be perfect to do something, to act. And so we do things imperfectly. And so in this conversation that we're having, I'm doing both the production, the conversations, the engagements, and also the presentation. So I'm going to start down memory lane. And if you recall any of this as you've watched with us the last 28 days, I would love for you to just hop in. We started day one with some of the most phenomenal women that has been a part of the Los Angeles Tribune community. These are women that have co-hosted with us, who have helped us in events, in different broadcasts, and they've just been so giving. And as a matter of fact, they're coming this next 2 days. Saturday and Sunday is going to be a big women's celebration. We're doing it 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Join the party. We say men have meetings, women have parties. So join the party. We are going to have co-hosts that will be running the production. Shout out to Donna Campbell, that lady in pink on the right above Dame Doria with the on yellow. You see someone on pink on the right side. That's Donna Campbell, and she has given up her spot to be present in a physical book awards tomorrow, so that she can run the production for both Saturday and Sunday on this women's celebration. Imagine this: 31 days. We've gone 29 days today. Tomorrow is the grand finale, day 30 and day 31, as we bring women's her story unfolding, celebrating women's legacy, past, present, and future. So that's day one, and the party looked a little bit like this. Alicia Magnus Lewis probably took a break to do things behind the scenes during this, but there were 10 of us on day one. Day two was a surprise for Parisa Rose. Parisa Rose is an 8-time NCAA champion, All American champion in swimming. And she also has led a team to have 7 All American titles in one season. And she's such a voice for women. She has been very, very active in the cause of women and giving women voices. So we have given Parisa Rose the Empowerment and Resilience Legacy Award in honor of a woman who embodied the spirit of resilience in the face of adversity, demonstrating exceptional commitment to mental and emotional health, and being an active advocate for women's empowerment and equality. So that's our day two. Now it was such a surprise for her. I love that when she shared it in her story unfolding. Okay, so here's the story. I'm going to give you the backstory of this. So for all of you who's joining me on this memory lane, we told Parisa Rose that we have another guest, because Parisa Rose is the kind of person who will actually not show up if you say you're honoring her. She just loves to support people. So I said, hey, can you support us in co-hosting our day two? It's our day two, and we have a speaker. And so she comes on and co-hosts, and we get into this conversation. And at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation, we gave her the Empowerment and Resilience Legacy Award. And she was so shocked. And I loved her Facebook story because she's like, it's been a day. It's been a day. I'm like, today I woke up not knowing I was going to get acknowledged and awarded. But if you have not seen that, go back to March 2, day 2 of Her Story Unfolding. It is such a beautiful conversation. They talked about women empowerment, her activism that she has been very strongly involved on, and even in Clubhouse. She's been an icon in the Clubhouse, like literally that phase of Clubhouse that is on your phone for several months because of the role that she plays in empowering women and giving women's voices. So watch that. Oh my gosh, we've got Sandra Horton, who you will see on Sunday with Dr. Sujata. Coming around noontime, you will see both Sandra and Dr. Sujata as one of our party presenters on Sunday. And so day three was Rachel Weaver. Rachel Weaver also invited 3 of her friends, not knowing that she was going to be honored that day. So day 3, she invited Sarah Connell, who's an icon in journalism, in media, Anna DeMarcus, and Simone, who are all very powerful women voices in media and in publicity. And they all supported in honoring Rachel in getting and receiving her Luminary Legacy Award. And this Luminary Legacy Award for women in media and philanthropy, Rachel was someone who really left mainstream media and went on and served in different ways that she can serve outside of just giving news that if it bleeds, it leads. So Rachel is such a luminary. She coaches people to get on their stage, get on aesthetic stages, and support voices. So if you'd like to see that, very powerful. Really, she was really surprised, and it was very, very special that she chose the most admired women that she looks up to, not realizing that they were going to help honor her on that day. So day 4 was the founders, creators, and owners of Cece's Closet. They started about 10 years ago with just pretty much putting their fashion clothes together in a living room and taking pictures in the living room, and then growing the company to be a multi-million-dollar industry. So we honored Chioma Mudo on her Culture Career Award, which is given for her exceptional commitment to social responsibility and ethical business practice. So, by partnering with Nigerian tailors, they champion integrity, empower communities, and a standard of ethical fashion. What a powerful segment! So, if you and there were a lot of discussions on day 4, there were like, how did you start from, from nowhere, and how did you get to grow your company? And there were people who were commenting for Africa and was asking, like, how do you get funding? How do you grow from? So there was like a lot of raw discussions of what it takes to, grow a company from practically nowhere and nothing to now a multi-million dollar company, and over 10 years, and it's continuing to grow. So you could look at Cece's Closets on Instagram, and also watch day 4. Thank you so much. Sandra's already giving us the comment, love this segment. Thank you very much, to Liz Ray, who is our social media manager actually in the Los Angeles Tribune. So if wherever you are watching, go ahead and share this. We invite you to share it, because if you've missed any of the recordings, this is a great time, a great day for you to be able to know, hey, which one do I get to go back? Because I tell you, every single day is precious. There's not one day I would throw away, because there's so much to take away from the stories of women, and what they've shared in their journey and their missions, their passion. There's just so much to take away. So we are now on day 5. Day 5, we have invited Muriel Blank, who is a she specializes on transformation, healing, using vibrations, and many other modalities. You can actually search her on the Los Angeles Tribune.com and type up Muriel, and you will see the article about her. And we've written up an article about her on, that she's been a healer since she was very, very young. I believe 6 years old or 8 years old, when she herself lost her own eyesight, and she discovered that she can heal. And she healed her mom at the age of 16 from an autoimmune disease. And she's been growing even stronger ever since in her gift to be able to heal, coach, and create transformation in the lives of others. So that's Muriel, and she's invited Teresa and also invited Patty Sadler. She's got 2 books that Patty Sadler, on the top left, right in front of me. She was the one who, Patty Sadler is the publisher, one of the publishers of the Los Angeles Tribune, LA Tribune Publishing House, and she has helped Muriel publish her 2 books. So you can look up Muriel Blank on all social media and also at the Los Angeles Tribune. And, our day 5 looked like this, between Patty Godefroy, Teresa Lawrence, Alicia, and Muriel. And we gave her the Phoenix Award for Transformative Legacy in Healing and Empowerment in honor of her exceptional contribution to the transformative healing and empowerment through literature, personal development, and spiritual enlightenment. She definitely is one that you would like to go back and watch. She actually healed Alicia on the spot. Alicia, at that time, our lead journalist and business developer, was not feeling well. She was starting with a cold. She was getting sick. And right on that show, towards the end, she, Muriel asked for permission. She said, can I heal you? And they did a on the spot healing. So that's something that's really great to watch. That will be March 5, day 5th of Her Story Unfolding. So we're going to day 6. Day 6 is very, very special, because we have the CEO of Binge Network, a woman running a woman company, that's pretty much all of her employees are women. She's this one on the right side with Jim Miller, who nominated her right behind her. And I guess my alarm is letting me know that we're live. And also our executive producer, Dr. Emily Letran, right behind Jim, also joined us in the show. And it was such a moving segment, because um, to create something that didn't have a pattern to create after, as a woman founder who's also a single mom of 3 of twins, 3-year-old twins. She was telling her story about, she's running this multi-million dollar company with now almost 3,000 titles in Binge Network, and over 90 programs, live programs going on, and her 3-year-old twins are screaming at her in the car for breaking the banana. So life of a mother, right? Like all of that, you're doing great things, but you're also getting screamed at by your kids. So what a beautiful walk through the journey of a woman CEO who's doing great things, especially in a man's world. And she talks about how she navigates through being held small and minimized by other men in the industry. So that would be a great one to watch. Yes, balancing life and work, according to Sandra Hardon. That's a beautiful one to watch, rewatch. And that's Bonnie Bruderer, the CEO, founder of Binge Network. And we awarded Bonnie Bruderer the Pioneering Force in Television and Digital Media Award. And we have given it to her as a legacy award in recognition upon a woman whose work in television, film, or digital media reflects Berg's legacy, which is a woman who started, the transition from radio to television, um, of creativity, leadership, and commitment to authentic representation. So that is day 6 with Bonnie Bruderer, Jim Miller, and Dr. Emily Letran. The next one, comment, ask questions. Let me know what you're thinking. This is the conversation, just a reminder. Thank you for joining me. The next one is day 7. And day 7 was Dr. Kara Dentley, Lady Dr. Kara Dentley. So, Lady Dr. Kara Dentley is knighted, or a wife of a knighted um, Dr. James Dentley, and she's a physicist and also an entrepreneur. Her journey from pivoting from being a physicist, working for the government, to um, following her heart and being an entrepreneur, working on now empowering women to own their fitness and their wellness. So she has everything from wellness brands and hula hoops, So what a beautiful conversation of following your passion, and what does it look like when you change paths from what you thought you were going to take from the rest of your life. And it's not like she didn't like what she was doing. She loved what she was doing, but she knew she was meant for more. And even her supervisor at that time said, you're meant to do great things out there," and pretty much launched her into what she's now stepping into. And she just had her she was just a part of the movie Beyond Physical Matter, and that was part of the conversation, is really from being a physicist and having a deep knowledge of molecules and atoms and vibrations and frequencies. And what a powerful conversation for her to be a part of that movie Beyond Physical Matter. So you can watch that on day 7. And we honored her during the premiere, the movie premiere of Beyond Physical Matter, with an outstanding leadership recognition. We presented it at that time during the red carpet movie premiere, and we just re-announced it virtually on this day. So day 8 is the actual International Women's Day, and we picked the perfect person who's always behind the scenes, who's always behind the curtain, elevating voices, creating movements, everything from politicians to Tony Robbins to T. Harv Eker to Brendan Burchard, like the biggest names that goes on stages. This is the woman behind the curtain. Her name is Mary Glorfield. Mary Glorfield was nominated by 2 men, our podcast director Michael Silvers, and also our business client relationships director and business solutions Jim Miller. And she's one that really has practically had such ripple effects in the world, so much change in culture, in mindsets, in mentality, in the way we live today, has been influenced by the stages that Mary Glorfield has put together. But if you Google her, you'll probably see the same picture. She only has that one picture available, and she's always behind the curtains. Even when I've seen her physically in an event that that she's invited us in the Los Angeles Tribune to be there to do the red carpet for, she's behind the scenes, just pretty much behind the computer, waving from behind the curtain. So yeah, I love that. I love the comments and engagements of Sandra. Very, very powerful segment, because you get to see someone who's used to being invisible, being unseen, and what an honor. What an honor for the Los Angeles Tribune to be able to honor her on the International Women's Day. And we gave her a Visionary Leadership in Social Change Award. This recognition is bestowed upon an innovative woman leader whose dedication to social change has inspired movements, reformed policies, and reshaped societal norms. And that was not an understatement. Literally, the stages she's put together, the politicians, the government officials that she's put stages for have transformed society. And so that goes to say, you don't have to be known, you don't have to be big. One of the things that our CEO Morak always says is it's good to look at the power that's on stage, but it's even more strategic to look at the power that has put them there. Some of them are quiet people who either have put the stages together, who have marketed, who have created the copy. Those are the real power behind the power. And that's what Mary Glorfield is. So day 9 is our youngest honoree for National Women's Month. Day 9 was Arya van den Bosch. She is a jiu-jitsu champion, 11 years old. I believe she just turned 12. And her insight to winning is life changing. I saw her speak on the stage. Yes, yes, yes. I will always read your comments and I will always get distracted. So that's totally okay. Power that has put them there. So that's a tip. That's the tip. Look at who's the power that has put them there. If you see people who have created great stages, great impact, great things, like who has put them there? Because they're the face, right? They're the face that goes on stage, but who has put them there? That's a great question. So I wanted to emphasize what Sandra has shared. So going back to Arya is an 11-year-old going on 12, and she has this. She's called. Actually, I'm gonna go put up her award. She got the Lionheart Excellence in Academics and Athletics Award, and we have taken on the inspiration of Wilma Rudolph, an American track and field athlete who overcame significant obstacles, including childhood polio, to become a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. And it's because of the way Arya looks at competition. Arya said that, there's no losing. There's no losing. Her principle is there's no losing. There's only winning and learning. And she said that as a Lionheart, Arya's meaning, her name, Arya's meaning is Lionheart. And she said, as a Lionheart, she looks at how she can eat, her opponent, or learn how to eat them next time. So what a powerful little woman, young lady who really has that tenacity. And I'm like thinking that's a very powerful segment that's really worth watching. Go back to day 9, that means March 9. Arya van den Bosch, because her principles of winning and learning, is transformative. I'm like, what would you do if you can't fail? What would you do? What would you dare to do if there's really no losing, if there's only winning and learning how to win next time? It sounds simple, but imagine the life we get to live if that's really how we run. That's how Area runs. So that is day 9. Going on day 10. Day 10, we had Miss Caitlin. And um, actually, Catherine Becker is a woman that we have met on when Alicia Magnus Lewis, our lead journalist, has attended an awards event that was in the oldest women's club in Los Angeles, and she happened to sit with Catherine Becker, and Catherine Becker is such a phenomenal woman. We have given her the award called the Pursuit of Personal Excellence Award. It's a recognition bestowed upon a woman who elevates others through empowering what is within them and helping them bring all of their excellence out of them and creating clarity and self connection in all facets of their life. You pretty much would hear from that award what her mission and what her offer to the world is, and that's what she brings. Powerful lessons and mindsets. Amen, amen. Right, powerful lessons and mindsets, winning or learning to win next time. We are now on day 11. Day 11 is a very, very special day because it's 11, it's 1 1. And we decided on day 1 1, we go back to where it all began. This special thought leader edition, Women's in Leadership Special Thought Leader Edition, is where it all began, where her story unfolding all began. And on that, in this newspaper, you can find your free digital copy at LA Tribune Special Edition.com. You can get that at LA Tribune Special Edition.com. There are two versions, the Spring 23, and there's just a straight without Spring 23 that goes to the Women in Leadership. So that's where you can get your free copy by going to latribuneспecialedition.com. And you will see, go to the centerfold. The centerfold is such a beautiful presentation of the advancement of women through time. Like, you didn't even know the things we did not have before. Like, you didn't even know that we cannot own properties. You didn't even know that we cannot have, custody of our kids once marriages don't work. You didn't even know that we cannot own a property. So there's so many things. As our editorial team really dug on this research for the Women in Leadership edition, there's so many things we found on how our foremothers have championed things for us that we do not even value today. Like, to even have our own credit, to even be able to have our own money, to have our own bank accounts, to be able to work even when you're pregnant, to be able to work as a woman, to have equal wage with a man. Like, all of this we have because our foremothers fought for it. And so when you look at her story unfolding, the centerfold of that newspaper, you will see the evolution of women progress through time, starting from, like, I think we started in 1800. And then right before and right after the centerfold, you'll see some of the women. There are so many of them. We have over 200 that we have put together. And one of these days, we will still put them out in the newspaper. But we have at least put 80, I think 75 women there, who have made significant contributions in the advancement of women, who have never been recognized because recognition wasn't a part of that day. So that is day 11. You could go ahead and watch day 11, and you will see how we went over the newspapers, and we saw the different women that we have featured in the newspaper, and also the different parts of the newspaper. The Special Thought Leader Edition, Women in Leadership Edition. That is day 11, 1 1, where it all began. Day 12 is a beautiful revelation, red carpet rolling of our executive producer who sponsored Her Story Unfolding. This is not possible. It is not possible for us to do 31 days of celebrating women without someone believing and investing in the mission of Her Story Unfolding. And that person who said yes, raised her hand, and made an investment is Dr. Emily Letran. And we started this journey without a sponsor yet. And so on day 12, Dr. Emily Letran was rolled in and said yes and sponsored as the executive producer of Her Story Unfolding. And so we are just grateful. We acknowledged her, her story. Her story is very powerful. Came she came from Vietnam, didn't, and her journey is so powerful, from not being able to speak the language to now coaching businesses and transforming lives on a day-to-day basis, including being a dentist and owning multiple dental offices, owning multiple properties, teaching, coaching, traveling around the world, co-producing movies. You'll see later on the movie that she co-produced, and also co-producing different movements for women. So we'd invite you to watch that. Yes. um Wonderful power, and her story is very impressive. Yes, absolutely. So watch our co-executive producers segment, day 12, Her Story Unfolding, with Dr. Emily Letran. And we, of course, look like this, the three of us, Alicia, me, and Dr. Emily. Date 13 is a woman who first came from India, really didn't have family here in America. She was always told that women should serve their husbands and also work in the corporate world. And so she did, until she couldn't. And so she started to being a mom that was only staying at home and taking care of two kids. She started to design clothing and started to contract from India to import them here. And she grew that business. And now she's the person who's putting together the LA fashion closet during the LA Fashion Week. So this is the Fashion Week, and you can see powered by LA Fashion Closet. That is Shagun Gupta, who we honored on day 13 of Her Story Unfolding. You will see how she came from just doing the designs at home to starting to bring community of women together, the very thing that she craved for. She felt that she didn't have a community. She felt that she didn't have the support, being a a immigrant from India who didn't have her family here, didn't have parents here, didn't have cousins, and sisters and brothers in here, and she felt so alone. She decided she's going to create the community for others. So she started with like little get-togethers, and the little get-togethers became big get-togethers, and then she started, opening business opportunities for other women, and she started bringing her clothing, and before you know it, it is now the LA Fashion Closet that ran 9 hours during LA Fashion Week, attended by hundreds in the W Hollywood Hotel. What a journey! That's worth watching. That's day 13. That means March 13 of Her Story Unfolding. We are halfway. Day 14 is Nimstan, and you're going to find out more of Nimstan when you watch tomorrow's Impact Book Awards. We're going to be going live on our broadcasts also, and we're also going to have a lot posted on our social. She decided that she's going to make a change. She's like, why are we acknowledging celebrities and movies and films and arts, but books aren't being recognized? So she decided she's going to do something about it. So she created the Impact Book Awards that actually happens tomorrow. And she's going to have Mark Victor Hansen there, Sharon Lecter, and many others. That's happening tomorrow. And so Alicia and I will be live, and Patty Sadler, one of our publishers, will be live in that in that area. Yes, name is exceptional. Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, she's very exceptional and she's wonderful for sure. And we get to play with her tomorrow as our co-host celebrates with you on Her Story Unfolding. So that's day 24. And of course, we honored Nim on that day. This is how we look like. And we honored Nim with the Literary Luminary Award, in recognition of a woman who has made exceptional contributions to the world of literature through her writing and efforts to create spaces that honor authors. This award recognizes an individual who not only excel in her craft, but also actively promote and support fellow writers, whether through mentorship programs, literary events, or initiatives aimed at fostering a vibrant and inclusive literary community. How beautiful. That's that's literally her mission and her passion. And I love that we get to support her tomorrow in her event. Day 15 is a very powerful story for of someone. I On my post I actually asked, what's possible for someone who crosses the border unable to speak English at the age of 16? And I think that's her age, somewhere being a teenager. 15 was her age. Well, that's Veronica Bocelli. Veronica Bocelli crossed the borders from Mexico, unable to speak English, discriminated in school because she was put in a kind of different learning modality or class because she's unable to speak English. And she has converted that from that to now training high powered trainers, peak performers, high producers, whether they're, in real estate or they're in, marketing or they're in sales, whatever the area is, finances. She trains peak performers on how to excel. And that is a very powerful segment to watch because she gave a lot of tidbits and a lot of lessons on how she transformed her life from being an illegal immigrant in America with feeling unable to fit in and being behind to now transforming the lives of hundreds of thousands through her training them in peak performance. So that's a powerful one to watch. And of course, we honored her with the Luminary Human Transformation and Innovation Award in honor of an impactful woman whose pioneering journey and achievements in human transformation, top production, and leadership has set new benchmarks for excellence. Truly new benchmarks, empowering individuals and advocating for inclusivity and human rights. She has a lot of powerful volunteerism, activism work that she does for inclusion and for women and for diversity, for even gender diversity. So that's day 15 with Veronica Bocelli. Day 16 is another powerful interview. This is a day that Alicia did by herself, and this is LaShawn McGee, the CEO, founder, um, and of the Wealth Salon, and she talks about financial empowerment. And really, it is very, very moving because she talks about her personal journey into and as to why she's now passionate for teaching people in finances, and she's given several tips also on how to transform your own finances. So go ahead and watch that. That's day 16 with LaShawn McKee. Day 17 was a little bit of a deviation from what we normally do. Day 17 was the part one of our interviews in the NAACP Image Awards. And Alicia and I covered both the mixer dinner among the celebrities and influencers of the NAACP, and also the awards night. And that was a 3-day part: day 17, day 18, and day 20, because there were so many interviews that happened, both during the mixer dinner and during the red carpet, and we have asked each of these women questions about their journey, how their story is unfolding, the legacy that they're leaving, who has inspired them. And it's so powerful to watch. I know Sandra's saying we're on fire. The best way I could describe it is like it's like a 100-meter dash, but with the length of a marathon. We declared we declared that we're going to honor women in the Los Angeles Tribune. And we're not alone. I mean, we've got co hosts who are also supporting, and we've got a whole team in the Los Angeles Tribune. Oh my gosh. Like, we have an amazing team between people who are making reels, our team who are making reels, who are creating graphics, who are emailing, who are creating the landing pages. If you follow us both on Instagram and Facebook, it's LA Leadership. LA Tribune Leadership. We have a main page with the Los Angeles Tribune, and we have LA Tribune Leadership, which is more where we put our contents. That's related to leadership, mindset, growth, news that's inspiring, uplifting, and motivational. And so, when you follow us, you will see the different amazing work of the LA Tribune team. So we're not alone, but yes, our team was on fire for the whole month of March. So this was 3 days of interviews, with some of the outstanding celebrities that we had the chance and the opportunity to interview during the awards and the networking dinner, the mixer dinner. So go ahead and watch that. That is day 17, 18, and 20. We took a break on day 19. Day 19, we had Dr. Adrian Lara. The reason we took a break and we put part three of the NCAA was because we decided that we wanted to break it up, and keep the excitement, because we actually held some of the best interviews on the third day. But on day 19, we had Dr. Adrian Lara, who is the president and the founder of Empowering Women's Health. And so we it was a beautiful interview on conversations on everything women's health, from wellness to surgery, which she does all. And Dr. Adrian Lara has a very powerful story as a woman, Hispanic in background, Hispanic woman who is a graduate of the biggest universities in medical school, and Harvard, to be specific. And she has like really had amazing experiences, like really being able to champion the cause of women. Love Sandra's comment. Love our friend Dr. Lara. Yes, Dr. Adrian was day 19. So if you're interested in women's health, we gave her contacts. She gave an offer. You can watch her on day 19, which is March 19. You can go back to any of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, YouTube. You can watch, and of course, we'll also have it on Roku on demand. But you can learn a lot, and you can, she sees patients, you know, nationwide. I would say globally, of course, but also nationwide, even remotely. So if you're having problems with finding a gynecologist that will understand your hormones, that listens to you, Dr. Adrian Lara would be a great connection. She's given both her phone number, her website, and everything else on broadcast. So watch it on day 19. And we have honored her with the Luminary Legacy Award for Excellence in Women's Health and Empowerment, in honor of the remarkable contributions of a trailblazing woman in the fields of obstetrics, gynecology, cosmetic surgery, and women's sexual medicine. Dr. Adrian Lara's dedication to advancing women's health, her innovative approach to medicine, and her commitment to empowering women through education and wellness are at the heart of this recognition. So that's a beautiful day to watch. That is day 19. And of course, day 20, you get to watch part three of the NAACP Image Awards. Now we go to day 21. Day 21, we have Joy Willett. Joy Willett is a luminary. who transforms lives through coaching, through mentoring, through NLP, and she does a lot of those trainings. She also got an award on that day, but I don't have that available. So you could watch her on day 21. What a beautiful conversation! Yes. So comment from Sandra for Dr. Lara. Very, very well deserved. She is a powerhouse, truly, and very, very humble, very caring, truly. So go ahead and watch Joy Willett's beautiful conversation on mindsets, transformative um, changes in our personal actions on day 21 with Joy Willett. And, conversations between her and Alicia were very powerful. Day 22, we covered the night before that a Vietnamese movie that is record breaking. It is the first Vietnamese movie that is fully shot and produced in the United States. And we have had many interviews in the red carpet that we brought together on that day with women producers, directors, who really almost did everything. Like they were even doing editing, on by themselves. So let's take a pause on there after this short commercial break so that we've got day 23 onwards.
Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience her story unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come.
Hello and welcome back. We stopped so everybody's calling me now. We stopped at day 23 because honestly I had to drink water. So day 23, and I'm still going to drink water. Day 23, we are now on day 23. We've got comments. Who are our comments? Great job, Baba. Thank you. Sandy, thank you for keeping me company at 10:53, almost 11 o'clock Pacific time. We are excited for your segment on Sunday with Dr. Sujata and looking forward to hear about your book. So very, very excited for that conversation. So on day 23, we have the LA Fashion Week powered by the LA Fashion Closet by Shagun. And we have had unbelievable an 8-hour broadcast, full 8 hours. Everything from the runway to where the models were having their makeups, where they're getting dressed, where they're rehearsing their walk, their runway walk, where there's the red carpet interviews. And where there are vendors. Like it's a combination of everything. And then Morak, our CEO, is on the station, navigating everything. And we've got several people who are also supporting us in the LA Fashion Week coverage. We've got Michael Silvers, who is the director of our podcast network. We've got Karen Hall, who's also part of our Women's Journal division in the Los Angeles Tribune. And we also had Julianne Meyer, who was part of the co-host of a segment of the runway, with Michael Silvers. So that was an exciting whole 8-hour broadcast. Now, the secret caveat to that is we actually, after we had the live broadcast for 8 hours, is we took it down because it's so long that we're going to repost it with segments, like runway segments, interview segments versus a whole 8 hours. So that's day 23. Day 24 is another in-person, very, very special. We had the opportunity to recognize Mama Katarina on the award in the back. We have presented Sir Bruno Serrato, who is the owner of White House Restaurant in Anaheim, a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. We were able to nominate him, and he was awarded through the Office of the President a Volunteer Service Award. And on that day, we celebrated having 10 million meals served. Imagine 10 million meals. How many zeros is that? 10 million meals served to children. And it started on that day that Mama Caterina, that lady in the back, was visiting from Italy, and they happened to go to a Boys and Girls Club event where Bruno was invited. And during that event, they found out that there's one kid who the people didn't know where if he was going to have meals at home if he goes home. And Mama Caterina said, why don't you feed him pasta? And from that one boy, they continued to serve meals, partnering with different organizations that supports after school education, that supports children. And they now have fed 10 million meals to kids, and really having influenced movements to feed kids around the world. And that's through the inspiration of Mama Caterina. And what a beautiful inspiration. That's a beautiful segment to watch, because it is the influence of a full-time mom. Some of us, on a time when we are full-time taking care of our kids, we're not quite sure of our purpose, but through her inspiration and the way she's raised her kids, she has 7 kids, and it's so moving. I actually was brought into tears when her son, Sir Bruno Serrato, was talking about how his memory of her mom was like. He said that she always had food for, even if they had very, very limited resources, she would always have pasta for kids, and she always made sure that everyone is full. And even as the legacy that she has left has now fed 10 million and going. Sir Bruno Serrato is actually a CNN hero, and because of the many millions of kids that he has fed, serving them with through the Caterina Club. It's called Caterina Club by Mama Caterina's inspiration. So that's day 24. Day 25. Day 25, we had Nola Magnus, who is an expert in special education. And that was such a beautiful conversation of what it's like to pivot from she was a successful financial professional, but through the challenge of her own son, being, you know, being destined to be the mother of a boy who had hydrocephalus, and then ended up um, being the caregiver, the caretaker. She became passionate on really learning and pursuing how to teach her own son, to a point that now her son is 36 years old and living a normal life, independent, employed, working, and living a normal life. And now she helps families, advocates for children, advocates for families with special needs, and really has gone far, 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 like in the highest levels of collaborations with governments and with offices and different organizations, coming from where it started as her passion for her son. That's a beautiful thing to watch. So watch day 25 with Nola Magnus. And we gave her an award called the Empowerment and Upliftment in Special Education Award. This award is bestowed upon an exceptional woman who has demonstrated outstanding dedication, innovation, and compassion as a special educator. This prestigious accolade celebrates her remarkable contributions to the field of education, specifically in nurturing and supporting diverse needs of students with special needs, as well as their parents. So that is so moving. Oh my gosh, we've got Alicia Magnus Lewis just joining us. Well, let me tell you, Alicia wasn't prepared to join. So let me just give her the grace to get herself, prepared. She wasn't ready to join, but Alicia's always in the back supporting us, and so grateful for Alicia, despite her being already 2 hours advanced. It's 1 a.m. in Phoenix, and she's still there. Absolutely very moving, Sandra. Thank you so much. Also, she's made a comment that the fashion awards are so cool. David Jones says the fashion show was a bomb. Yeah, you were live watching with us during the 8 hours, David. David's like our biggest cheerleader for women. Next to Mo, our CEO. So we are now on day 26. Could you believe that? We've got 2 more days to go. Day 26 is such a moving story. We had Dr. Shelley Hipsky, and also Sally Powers, invited by our co executive producer, Emily Letran. And during the live broadcast, they had someone who knew them that they haven't spoken to over a year in Europe who was commenting, and right there directly, we invited her to join the live broadcast. And I asked her on the direct message from Facebook, hey, would you like to join as a surprise? And she said, sure. I'm surprised she was ready to be on camera. And she joined, and everybody on the screen was just like freaked out. How did you get here? How did you do that? And they were crying, and there were so many tears on that show. And it goes to say, because Dr. Shelley is the CEO of an inspirational women's movement that's called Global Sisterhood, and they do in-person events that they have in-person events that reaches all over the world. So it's amazing that to see how moving it was to bring sisterhood globally. And Alicia and I got adopted that day. So that is day 26. We've got 2 more days. Well, let me tell you, on day 26, we both these women are phenomenal. They're doing outstanding things in the world out there. So, Dr. Shelley, we gave the Global Sisterhood Empowerment Leadership Award. I tell you, these awards are well thought of. These aren't just like thrown in the spaghetti and see if it will stick. Like, we really research our women that we want to honor, and we want to honor them well with what they really do. So this certificate honors a woman whose exceptional leadership and dedication to empowering women globally with visionary initiatives, relentless advocacy, and transformative impact, which have both inspired and mobilized women to thrive and lead with purpose, creating positive change on a global scale. Doctors, not doctor, but Sally Powers, we have recognized with a Renewed Life Empowerment Award. She is supporting women who are coming from transition from abusive relationships and empowering them with clothing and fashion. So the Renewed Life Empowerment Award recognizes the woman who have shown exceptional dedication and commitment to creating second chances for women in transition from abusive situations. This award celebrates the tireless efforts and unwavering compassion of those who provide a safe haven and opportunities for growth and healing, and honors the women who have transformed adversity into opportunity, offering hope and support to women rebuilding their lives. What a powerful award. That literally was her word, supporting women who are rebuilding their lives through through empowerment, upliftment, and fashion. And day 27, March 27, is a very special day for our mother here in the Los Angeles Tribune. Our CEO Morax called her sister, we call her Mama Dame Doria. Dame Doria was honored on March 27, and it was premeditated. Parisa is saying, bravo. Thank you, Parisa. It's your turn tomorrow and Sunday. I'm preparing the runway. I am preparing the runway for our celebration the next 2 days because our next 2 days is going to be an amazing celebration of women. Donna Campbell and Parisa Rose is running the party. So prepare, because men have meetings, women have parties. So we have a lot of comments now. We love Ava, Dame Doria, yes. Ava, okay, thank you guys. You now are like, making me blush, and making my making my heart, thump. So thank you for all of the comments. What a beautiful partnership with our community here in LA Tribune. Look at this. They're all saying, "Hey, Elise. Hi, Sandra. Agreed, Parisa." I couldn't tell you. I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret. Lots of relationships were formed through the LA Tribune audience audience section. We've come to build relationships with some of the most powerful women that was unknown, that were hidden from the comment section, because we've seen them commenting and we've brought them together in the LA Tribune community, and they've become part of the LA Tribune network. So there's such a sisterhood and a brotherhood in the comment section of the LA Tribune global audience. Just so you know, that's a tip. That's a tip. So we are, yes, we love our LA Tribune family. That's absolutely yes. And yes, oh, look at this, David. David's acknowledging my husband. That's absolutely 1000% true. Ava would not be an Ava without the Alan. So yes, we love Alan too. Parisa is saying it will be a celebration for all women. So join us. That's a preparation for day 30 and 31 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are going to have the celebration for National Women's History. We're going to have a lot of women coming in the next 2 days. And so now we come to the grand finale. Day 28 was still the special feature of the movie premiere directors, producers, actors of the story movie. I'm finding it. I promise I will find it. Where is it? It was in day 22 when we talked about the interviews and the movie premiere. And on day 28, we honored them. We had the opportunity to honor them with their own stories of what their journey is like, to come from um, the humble beginnings, like even to look for fundings, to be able to look for where they can get the fundings for the movie, to really coming and producing the movie. So that's such a beautiful interview with the producers, the directors, and the actors, Dr. Jacqueline Win, Mai Tu Huyen, Huyen, and Dr. Emily Letran. So watch day 28. And may I tell you that that movie actually is on the theaters this weekend. So you can go ahead and watch it. It's called a I will get this, a flower, a fragile flower. Yes, there it is. I told you I'll get it. A fragile flower. That is the movie that's premiering. So yeah, I am now on day 29, and day 29 is where we decided we're going to do a recap of the last 28 days. Because this is live broadcast. Yes, I was muted. So I was saying that we also are going to show you the live broadcast of the interviews from the convention, for podcasters. We also had the amazing opportunity to do a book launch partnership in Barnes and Nobles in the Grove, the biggest and the only Barnes and Noble in Los Angeles at the Grove. And we had amazing interviews both with the authors and some of the celebrities and authors in that book launch. So those have been the ways we've honored women in Her Story Unfolding from March 1 to March 29. We are so excited that we are now coming in to the next 2 days where we bring the highlights and the biggest celebrations with some of the most amazing co-hosts of the Los Angeles Tribune, Her Story Unfolding. We've got Parisa Rose, Donna Campbell, Julianne Meyer, Rachel Weaver, Sandy Sgarlata, Dagmar Fleming that are joining to co-host in addition to me and Alicia. We will also give you sneak peeks to the Impact Book Awards that will be happening in Phoenix, Arizona, where both Alicia and I will be tomorrow. And we also will be giving you some of the interviews that we haven't even shown. Like we have interviews still from the NAACP that we haven't shown yet because we've saved the best for last. So we invite you to tune in on the Los Angeles Tribune socials tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's going to be a party. And I know it's Easter weekend, acknowledging that it's Easter weekend, and I acknowledge that it is Good Friday. Blessings on Good Friday. And also, we look forward to a great party this weekend. So, for all of you who have joined me on day 29, the recap, Her Story Unfolding, celebrating women's legacy, past, present, and future, who joined me in the party for all the comments, keeping me company through almost midnight. Thank you so much. And as part of the family of the Los Angeles Tribune, we are grateful for each and every one of you. Make sure you share, you like, you comment. As our CEO, Mo Rock, always says, when we like, comment, and share, we don't just like, comment, and share. We actually cast a vote. And we cast a vote not only of what we want to watch and what we want to see, but the world we want to live in. So with that, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Sandra, for being our ever-present cheerleader, and also David Jones. To all of you, Parisa Rose, thank you so much. My partner, Alicia Magnus Lewis, who has been with me the last 29 days. To the next biggest days of Her Story Unfolding, just beginning. We celebrate you, we honor you, and we love you. Have an amazing evening. Her story continues to unfold.
Welcome to a celebration at the precipice of time, where the power of women knows no bounds. Experience Her Story Unfolding, a reawakening of our collective consciousness to the monumental achievements of our foremothers, a tribute to the battles they fought, rights they've secured, and paths they've paved that women all over the world are continuing to navigate and expand upon. Her stories are unfolding, empowering growing, building legacies of pioneering women by sharing their stories, celebrating their accomplishments, and embracing the rights and privileges they've bestowed to us for generations to come.